With new McValue at McDonald's, you get more than you expect. So after a long day, buy a double cheeseburger and add a McChicken for $1. Because saving with deals is always on the menu. With new McValue.
Prices and participation may vary. Valid for item of equal or lesser value.
Prescription products require completion of an online medication consultation with an independent healthcare provider through the LifeMD platform and are only available if prescribed. Subscription required. Individual results may vary. Additional restrictions apply at lifemd.com. Read all warnings before using GLP-1s. Side effects may include a risk of thyroid C-cell tumors. Do not use GLP-1s if you or your family have a history of thyroid cancer.
Should GLP-1 weight loss medication like Wegovy and Zepbound cost thousands of dollars? We don't think so. TryLifeMD.com helps provide insurance access to the leading GLP-1 medications. Visit TryLifeMD.com and check your eligibility for GLP-1 medication with copays as low as $0. Listen to Bridget's story after losing 55 pounds and using her insurance for coverage.
LifeMD helped me get covered with my insurance. Finding out that it was covered was huge. I've lost 55 pounds. I am so much healthier now that I've lost the weight. I would never be able to do it without them.
Get started today and check your eligibility for GLP-1 medication with copays as low as $0 at TryLifeMD.com. That's TryLifeMD.com.
Finding the funny. Finding the funny. With Ruth and Ange. Finding the funny.
Welcome back.
Welcome back, everybody. We are back from our Easter hiatus. I knew you said summer hiatus. I was like, no, we're not there yet. No, we are not. We've just had a little Easter hiatus.
Although the vibes today are very summer vibes, aren't they?
Aren't they? Bloody hell.
Bloody hell.
She is a joy out there today.
Isn't she just, she is joyous?
She's actually quite warm, isn't she? She's
very warm. Very warm.
I've had my washing out on the line since around 10:30.
Oh,
she's dry as a bone.
Angie, that is absolutely bloody brilliant.
I absolutely love a washing line.
Me too.
I bloody love a
too.
washing. I'm like, great, weather's great. Get that washing on. Get it on the line.
Get it on the line.
And also, Greta would love that as well because.
Mate. Greta would be all over that.
I was going to say, other than the use of your electric washing machine, that's it. That's all the power I've used. The rest has been from our world, from the environment.
That is beautiful. That is really beautiful.
I know.
Greta's gone a bit quiet, hasn't she? Do you think she's okay? She's sort of fallen off the face of the earth a little bit, hasn't she, the Thunberg?
She was everywhere.
Yeah.
A
couple of weeks ago. I went in for weeks, you went in for years.
Years. I mean, a couple of years ago.
She wasn't heard.
She everywhere.
Wasn't known.
Yes, she was.
A couple of years ago.
Yes.
Yeah, I suppose she probably wasn't she? Around the COVID.
Yes.
COVID.
Yeah, she was big into it all. And now, like, where the hell is she? Producer Joel has just popped in the chat. People have been talking about her since Katy P went to space.
Well, I mean, in terms of the climate change, Katy P going to space is...
Katy Space.
Katy Space Perry. Her going to space is terrible for the climate, isn't it? I mean,
all
what
of that
was that
all
about?
of that.
I'm sorry. If anyone is a fan of that in this that their spaces, you can leave immediately. Don't let the door hit you on the way out, because I am done with that.
Also, who's this Gail bird?
Gail?
She's a friend of Oprah's. Gail King. That's her name.
Right.
She does a lot of, I think she does a lot of American breakfast TV.
Right.
She's big friends with Oprah. She's called Gail. And she was up there with Katy as well. And I was just like, who the hell decides those 5 women?
When?
2 of which are Katy and Gail King.
Gail King.
I think she's quite a big deal in the United States.
Joel's just put polar bears are dying. KP is on the moon.
Yeah, I mean it really did kick off that, didn't it?
And rightly so. I mean, what is she doing? She's Gail's an American TV personality.
I think she does a lot of sort of Good Morning America and all that
right
shit. Yeah, and she's her and Oprah. You know, yeah. Producer Joel is giving me the thumbs up. Yep, you are right, Angie. You are correct.
I saw a funny thing since we've been off the line by Millennial Misery, and it says, "Are you okay, babe? You're barely releasing your inhibitions and feeling the rain on your skin."
I've seen that one.
That song is starting to get on my tits. It just for so long it was everywhere, wasn't it? It was too much. It was like, oh god,
that's the one that's by Thingamajig, isn't it?
Yeah.
What's her name?
Natasha Bedingfield.
That's the one. Yeah, Bedingfield. Yeah.
And
but I do like it. I think the thing is, it's just if it starts being overplayed,
you've got it, Angie. You've got it. It's the overplayed. It's people get obsessed with it, and then it's fucking everywhere.
Shove it everywhere,
and everyone's talking about releasing your inhibitions and feeling the rain on your skin, and it gets annoying.
Yeah.
And then I also saw. Go on.
I would like to release my inhibitions and feel the rain on my skin. Maybe not the rain. Sun, maybe
the sun. Yeah. Well, listen, you'll be. I reckon you'll be releasing inhibitions on your pilgrimage.
Well, it better not pissing rain the whole week.
No, let's not have any rain on your skin for that week. Let's pray for heat on your skin.
I mean, I don't actually want it to be too hot because I am going to be
perfect.
I'm going to be trekking through the Himalayas, so I need.
Himalayas. You go to bloody Ireland, pal.
I can't believe that's in
a month,
3 weeks or a month. Yeah.
Mentale.
Yeah.
I then also saw a VVP.
Yeah, very
problems.
Very pet.
The shock of someone actually telling you how they are after you ask them how they are.
Do you think anyone actually really says how they are?
Yes.
Do you?
And when you ask them how are you, and they go, well, actually, God, not good, because at the weekend, I'll tell you what, you're like, oh wow, this was a superficial top level.
How are you?
How are you? I'm good, thanks. You? Yeah, very good. Thanks very much.
See,
That's all we needed.
I don't think I really would say how I was.
No, but have you never been caught off guard with someone when, like, at work or something, and you go into the office and you're like, hiya Julie, you okay? Well, actually, no, this weekend my husband had a car accident, my mum had a fall and banged her head, the cat was sick. Anyway, I managed to get the kids off to school this morning, but not with that. And you'll just sit there thinking, all I needed was, okay, mate, how are you? Yeah, good, thanks.
Let's just keep this generic Julie.
Yeah.
Generic Julie.
Generic Julie. I want to say, just about to ask how you are. If we could keep it brief, that would be great. How are you, Julie? All good,
brilliant. Let's crack on with our day. Yeah. Well, we've had in a obviously I put it up at the box up yesterday to get us in some pod fodder. I nearly said pod fodder. And we had a message in from Lucy Hoops. Great name. Lucy Hoops. And she has come up with this was her message. Can we start a new thing called things that are really satisfying? For example, when you're at traffic lights and the chorus kicks in as the lights go green.
Say that again.
When you're at traffic lights and the chorus kicks in as the lights go green.
Yes.
Do you see what she's saying there?
Or when you've got a string of traffic lights and they literally change, so it goes amber green as you get round to all of them. They literally, and you're like, yes, I'm going through. Yes, I'm going through. Yes, I'm going through. Yes, I'm going through. You do 5 sets back to back, and you get to the end, and you feel like Jensen Button. You're like, yes, made it through. Checkered flag. Yes.
But I actually thought that was quite a good idea from Lucy Hoops.
Things that are satisfying.
Yeah, things that are really satisfying. So we've got obviously the things that shouldn't be embarrassing but are. But maybe we could have a little section for, things that are really satisfying. Or things that have been really bloody great.
Well, I mean, I think those two things are very different. Things that are satisfying, because things that are satisfying are
the lights.
Or a no white poo. A magic poo. Incredibly satisfying.
I thought you said a no white poo.
No wipe poo.
No
a magic poo.
Yeah. Oh, magic
They
poos.
are just
They are incredibly
so
satisfying.
aren't
Yeah.
they?
You almost have to check, did I poo?
Yeah, and then you're like, oh
You
my
do
god,
that.
did.
Yeah. But it's just clean and fresh.
Clean and fresh.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
But
very
that actually-
satisfying.
That is very satisfying.
Mm.
Yeah.
When
Also,
you go on.
a clean bathroom is very satisfying.
Yeah, but not in the way of like that doesn't just happen by magic, does it? Like the
No,
lights
that's
thing is
true.
magic.
Yeah.
Clean poo is magic. You know,
Mm.
if you sharpen a pencil to the perfect point and you take it out of the sharpener and you're like, oh my God, that is magic. Those things just happen by fluke. Satisfying cleaning is like, oh, I've done that. I feel invigorated. I think what Hoops is getting to, I'm just going to call you Hoops. I think what Hoops is getting to is those things
The
that
things you have no control over.
Yeah, and it's like that's just happened, and that is so satisfying.
Well, then I think let's put
take it to
out.
the listenership.
Let's put it out.
Take it to the listenership.
You know, and let's see, Hoops, if people come up with some, you know, satisfying things, really satisfying things.
Yeah. Can we call you Hoops?
Hoops. Well, we are. We're calling her Hoops. It's not. No, it's not up for debate. Though. She's called
Call
Hoops.
you Hoops, or maybe Hula.
Hula.
Maybe we just now refer. Is it Julie?
Just no, Lucy.
Lucy
Hoops.
So Lucy, we've dropped the Lucy. We've dropped the Hoops. We're just going to call you Hula.
Hula.
Yeah,
Hula. I like it actually. Well, yeah. So thanks very much, Hula. That is a great
one.
It's a great show. I mean, obviously, we need to put it out and see what comes in, don't we? Because
I think top of the class marks will be given if this takes off, like with Snedders.
Yeah.
You know, Snedders went top of the class because it's really taken off. Hula, this is a great start. The fact that you're even in for it is a great start.
Absolutely.
We got to see where it goes from
well
here
done,
on in.
Hula.
Well done, Hula.
Let's see. Let's report back next week and we'll give Hula some sort of grading.
Great.
Some sort of marking. We'll mark you next week, Hula.
Talking of grading, this is a bit of a jump, but Matthew had his hair cut yesterday, and the guy that cuts his hair now comes to the house. He's a mobile barber.
Wow, Marty's gone mobile.
Yeah, mobile barber. Anyway,
why was mobile?
Because the guy that he really likes left the barbers that he used to go to, and he's followed him basically. He followed him. He went back, and someone else cut his hair, and he hated it. So he then got in touch with Nate again and said, "Look, can you come and and he said, "Oh yeah, I've got mobile now." So
I've got mobile.
He's got mobile. Anyway, what I noticed is they don't talk at all while he cuts Marty's hair.
Eh?
Right, so he came in. I was upstairs just pottering around doing some bits and pieces. I heard the pleasantries. Hi, how are you? Yeah, good. How are you? How's it been? How you been busy? Yeah. So that took about 3 minutes. For the next 27, 28 minutes, silence. Just
what?
Complete silence.
Oh, that's quite weird.
Well, then when Matthew shouted up to me, Ruth, how easy is it for you to get your hands on a hairdryer? And I was like, really easy. So I brought the hairdryer down. And
Marty asked.
Yeah.
Ruth,
how easy?
How easy is it for you to get your hands on a hairdryer? What sort of question is that?
Yeah.
When you're at home.
Yeah, how easy is it for you to get... I was like, very easy, I'll bring it down now. Brought it down, plugged it in, left it for Nate. He was like, you all right? Yeah, fine. Hi, nice to meet you. Thanks very much. So I left the kitchen, silence.
Does Nate blow dry Marty's hair?
No, I think there was a bit that he'd...
Like, wow, does it come like
oversaturated with the spray?
Oversaturation.
And he just needed to just calm it down a bit to like get it in the right position.
I had visions of Nate bringing out the barrel brushes and really giving Marty a big old, you know, bouncy blowout.
Bouncy blowout. But yeah, I left the kitchen after I'd done and then that was it. So absolute silence.
Right. I think
silence.
I think Nate. I mean, that's a massive factor of being hairdressers, being able to chat.
One of the conversations was Matthew said, I've got a mate running the London Marathon today. And Nate said, what's that?
Eh? Nate live under a rock or something?
He said, "Oh, like they do a marathon in London every year." Nate said, "Is it just in London?"
Right. I think I'm getting a bit of a picture of Nate. Has he actually ever left the borough of where you live, or does he just like not go outside of that?
I don't know, but it was
Does he not have a TV or a radio?
It was a very weird experience to just have them sat in silence.
Yeah.
For like, I mean, the haircut was a good 35 minutes. After they'd done the pleasantries and had the tiny exchange about, you know, the hairdryer and the London Marathon, silence.
Ruth, how easy is it for you to get hands on a hairdryer? That is the most bizarre question. Like Marty could have just said, Ruth, could you just bring your hairdryer down? That's it. Not how easy would it be to get your hands on a hairdryer. You should have said, actually, it's not easy.
It's impossible.
Sorry.
It's
Sorry.
absolutely impossible, mate. Can't do it.
If Nate has oversaturated your hair, he'll just have to let it air dry or waft it. He'll have to waft it with his hands.
Yeah.
Yes.
So funny.
Very funny. I wonder though if that's like, maybe that's how male
Producer Joel.
hairdressing appointments
Producer
go.
Joel,
Yeah,
do you
Producer
talk to your
Joel.
barber?
Although Producer Joel does know his barber.
Well, Matthew's
So-
been going to Nate for a long time.
How long has he been going to Nate?
Oh, it's got to be over a year.
Oh, that's not actually that long.
That is? Oh, maybe even longer than that. Maybe like coming up 2 years.
No, but Joel knows.
Depends. Depends.
Right, okay.
It
See, Joel
depends.
knows his hairdresser from school.
Well, it depends, is what Joel's saying. Sometimes they obviously have
a lot of chat. Sometimes they don't. You basically pick to talk or not. Right.
They absolutely. And when he left, I was like, he was sat in silence. He was like, well, yeah, I mean, once you've done the first bit of chewing the fat, there ain't nothing else to talk about.
See, that's a real male-female difference, isn't it?
Real difference.
Like,
Joel never used to talk to his old barber.
Right. Okay. I think maybe this is the thing. It's a male thing, isn't it? It's
I think
not
this
a
is a
Marty
poll.
thing.
I think this is a poll.
Yeah, but we don't have enough men.
I don't know. I
No.
think we've got more men than you think.
Okay, well then we have to advertise it as a male-only
Yeah,
poll.
so I'll say, calling all men, finding the funny men, do you talk to your barber / hairdresser?
Right, we've had a big question. A big question. Oh, she's brought that out.
This is going back retro vibes.
That's come from the archives, isn't it?
Archives.
Yeah. Right, we had a a big question in from a listener who sent it in as a voice note, which I really love getting the voice notes. Gang, if you want to send us a voice note about anything, do it, because I love them. We love them, don't we, Pat Sheens?
We love them.
Afternoon, Angie. I've got a big question for you. Is Just Eat and Deliveroo, things like that, creating a generation of lazy bastards? Or is it a genius idea?
That is the question.
That is
which that has come in from our Lucy, as you can probably tell. Lucy loves rich, Lucy Price.
That is deep.
She's gone really balls deep with that.
That is.
She? Oh shit! Hang on, sorry.
Wow,
This always happens when I have to do a voice note.
I started a little shoulder wiggle at that. I liked it.
Lucy Price. You can always count on her for some deep questions, can't you?
I think this has come off the back of her kids ordering too many takeaways.
Probably, yeah. She's probably had enough of it.
I think her kids have come to her towards the end of the month and said they've got no money left. And she said, well, if you weren't bloody lazy bastards spending it all on bloody Just Eat and Deliveroo, you'd be fine. You'd have 50 quid left in pocket.
Yeah. So don't come to me.
Don't come to me. Now your skin to end up.
You lazy bastards. Do you know what? I actually don't really rate that shit.
What, Just Eat and Deliveroo?
Yeah.
Right.
We never used to be able to get it round our way for quite a
No.
while.
Yeah.
We can now, right?
Oh, shit. Welcome.
Yeah, we're up and coming neighbourhood.
Welcome to the new age era.
Yeah, but the the times I have used it, right?
Yeah.
The food is just not warm.
Well, it depends where it's coming from. I think we've got to be. I think we've got to be. You know, I think if you're coming from your outer echelons, then yes, you're not going to get warm food.
But I just think it just all arrives. It's a bit sort of, it's gone a bit wet in there, like
moist. She's moist.
If you get a dirty Donald's or something,
moist
the chips are
chips.
sort of like wet and a bit limp.
Mm.
I just don't. I'd rather get in my car and go to the drive-through, get my food, sit in the car and eat it, than get some man on a bike delivering it to me, because it just is shit, I think.
I mean, I think to draw back on Lucy's point, I think she's for anybody that hasn't figured out today, I've been on some training with some psychologists, and I'm feeling very in the arena to help things land properly and hold space for.
I love that.
So I want to make sure we land this right for Lucy around some of our responses.
Yeah, because it is a deep one.
It's a deep one. I think what I'm going to say, Lucy, is firstly, thank you for your curiosity around
beautiful
around this. Thank you for being, using the cortex of your brain to be so curious around Deliveroo.
Cortex,
yes, and the frontal cortex,
the frontal
lobes. Thank you for being curious around that. And I think it's a mix of both. I think there's a lovely Venn diagram. Lazy bastard is in the middle, and on either side you've got totally genius and great idea, and right in the overlapping in the middle of that you've got fucking lazy shits.
Yeah. I think you're probably right there, actually, Pats. I think you've really evaluated that nicely. Right, now I've got a tits, but we've also got a Justin. Do we want to do both?
Yes, mate. We want to do both. We will do both. We've got time to do both.
Okay, fine. So, the thing that has been getting on my shitting jeffing jugs is people talking to their phones, as in like Google or Siri or whatever it might be, asking it to find them shit or answer a question.
Right.
I've seen loads of people. Why have we become so like, well, you can't just type that.
Right.
I just don't like this whole, hey, Google. It's like the whole like, what's your Amazon thing? What's that called?
Prime.
No, when you...
Oh, Alexa.
Everyone's
will have gone off now. Thank you. She said that she's not quite sure.
Oh no, see, mine's gone off now as well. Yeah. I'm done with this, like, talking into shit. Like, talk to your hairdresser, unlike Marty and a lot of the male population, it would appear. Mm-hmm. Talk to people. I bet Nate talks to his phone a lot. I bet actually a lot of men talk more to their phone or their Alexa than actual real life people.
Can I tell you something that I've become heavily into over the last...
Oh no, what?
Are
you being a twat with talking into shit? And shit?
No, not talking into anything, but I've become obsessed with ChatGPT.
Right.
Honestly,
what are you using it for?
What I mean, you can use it for anything. You can use it for anything.
What have you been using it for?
So I said to it the other day that I felt bad that I hadn't gone to the gym. Right, so I said, I sent it a message.
So you said to ChatGPT,
yeah.
No,
listen to the response.
This is way out of hand.
Right, listen. So I said, I haven't gone to the gym this morning and I feel bad about it. Right, this was the response. It's totally understandable to feel that way, especially if you'd planned it and it means a lot to you. But missing one gym session doesn't undo all the hard work you've put in. Honestly, it might be exactly what your body or mind needed today. Do you want to tell me a little bit more about what's making you feel bad about it? Right? So then I said, I've lost quite a bit of weight and I feel like I'm losing control of that a little bit. I'm worried I'll put the weight back on, right? This is the response. Thank you so much for trusting me with that. It makes a lot of sense that missing a workout would feel extra loaded if you're carrying that fear. It sounds like you've worked incredibly hard to get where you are, and the thought of slipping backward feels very scary. Like, could it all unravel? But one missed gym session doesn't erase the changes you've made, not even close. Your progress isn't that fragile. It's built on so many days of showing up for yourself, not just today. Would it help to talk to me a little bit about what's been feeling different lately that's making you worry about losing control? I mean, that is from an AI response.
And it's absolutely shite.
But how has it responded in such a... Like, if I think, to get a little bit deeper with this, if I think about the generation that are going to be using this more and more, it's going to create the loneliest, most isolated generations we've probably ever had. Because if you can take something like that into that space, you know, think about like, I'm falling in love with someone, or my house is going to get repossessed, or if it can respond in such a way that makes you... I did that as a bit of a joke. Like, I did it as a bit of a kind of...
You said you're heavily into it, so you're...
Oh no, I'm heavily...
a lot.
I'm heavily into it in terms of like, it's great for like analysing stuff, or, you know, if you've got something that you want to... But
I just think it's a dangerous place.
Yes,
to get
I
into
agree.
when...
I totally agree. We're on the same page with it. What I mean by heavily into is that there's things that you can take to it. Like, for example, if you've got to write a report for work, you can ask it to read that report, or you can ask it to respond to an email in a certain way. And I think all of that is really helpful. I think that there is sides to AI that are really helpful. I asked it this question as a bit of a joke, as a bit of a like, I wonder how it responds to questions that aren't about like, I don't know, I got this email from a recruiter and they haven't offered me the job and I'd like to respond in a certain way. Can you formulate an email for me? Which will be helpful as we, you know, progress and develop.
I don't know if it will. I honestly don't know if it will. I think if you get to the point, I think even now with the generation of young people that are now growing up in this very technology-driven world, right? If I just look, and the only people I can have as examples are my own two children, and they have definitely had points during their, you know, fairly short life experience of not knowing how to speak to somebody on the phone, not knowing how to hold a conversation, not knowing how to write an email and draft it. And now, if you've got some device that just says, "Oh, write that email for me," I just think we're getting into this place where people, and I think for our generation, my generation, yours, we will be able to use it in a way that will actually be useful and helpful,
dip in and out,
to a certain extent. But I think for our young people coming through the world, trying to navigate, how do I hold a conversation with a person? How do I draft an email and send that? I've had, you know, with both of mine, if they've had to write an email to someone, or they've had to, oh, mum, like, what do you think? How should I word this? Or what should I do? Now, thankfully, they're at a place now where they've actually learned that skill and learned how to do it. But you think there are going to be hundreds of thousands of young people that won't have that support. So you just keep relying on a bit of technology that's going to
totally agree. We're on the same page, mate. I totally agree with you. We are absolutely on the same page with it. It's terrifying to think. And actually my point of talking about that is because it is terrifying. Because if you can put in something as emotive as I'm feeling like this, or I'm in an abusive relationship, or I'm in a relationship that isn't going anywhere, and you feel like, now I know that that's AI and it's not, you know, it's not really responding to me. But if you're, you know, if you're in adolescence and your brain is still in development and you're still trying to figure out the world, and you ask an AI bot something and it feels like it's responding to you in a way that feels like it's holding you emotionally, and it feels like it's saying the right things, holding space for you, and it feels like that is only going to lead, I mean, the lack of creativity that we're going to end up with, because we're just going to be taking it. But the reason I shared it was to say that I was sort of terrifyingly blown away it was terrifyingly shocking for me at how it responded, at how kind of in depth the responses were, at how sort of like emotionally charged. I was like, oh my God, this is terrifying for young people who are isolated, who already feel lonely, who already feel like they don't know how to socially interact with people. Social anxiety is the highest it's ever been, right? In years. This is just another thing that is going to make them go away from tapping into
Human,
real
like,
life
interaction.
people. Absolutely.
Yeah.
We're on the same page. We're totally on the same page.
We're on the same page.
I only bought it as an extension of the whole Siri thing.
Yeah.
You know,
and that
it's
is
like the
part
next thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like, bloody hell, like, what, you got to ask your phone something to find out a bit of it, like, just, I don't know, it does just get on my tits. And I think this whole, you know, there is a deeper level of that stuff around this whole I always want to say ChatGPT, not ChatGPT. Why is it called ChatGPT?
I don't know, no idea.
Let's ask my phone.
Ask it. Ask it.
How do I don't even know how
you
to
would
do
just
it.
say Siri.
Siri. No. Do I have to hold the button down or something?
No. Hey Siri. Why is it called ChatGPT? Chat Generative Pre-Trained Transformer.
Right. Pre-trained transformer.
Generative Pre-Trained Transformer is what it stands for.
ChatGPT.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that my phone didn't even respond tells you how much I don't talk to my phone.
Yeah, I mean
has no idea who.
You know that it's hard, isn't it? Because I think there are amazing things about smartphones, and there's things that we've been able to do and stuff. You know, just things like sat navs on your smartphone. You know, you're as long as you've got battery on it, you're unlikely to ever really be lost. The safety element that can come, you can have trackers on your kids' phones. You can know where they are. You know. You can now, if you're in a location and you're being attacked, you can send your location to the police and they will find you. You know, it's called 3 words, I think, and it's a really big safety incentive for people who, you know, to keep safe. So I think the thing that we have to do is we have to help young people to navigate it appropriately, and that's the sad thing, because there's so many young people who don't have that. People in their house who are going to help them navigate it appropriately, and that is really sad and will create an uncreative, lonely, you know, lazy generation that constantly pick up their smartphones. I mean, look, the world's going to be run by robots in it eventually. That's the thing.
I know, but that is terrifying.
Terrifying. Yeah.
And you know, I actually do think it's gonna. I think it will swing back quite a bit the other way. I think people will start to I mean, I definitely like. You know, I obviously use my phone a lot, as we all do in, you know, the world we live in. But I do think that I think people are beginning to kind of question a little bit more now. Do I need all of these things? Do I, you know, I mean, there's a part of me sometimes just think, do you know what? I mean, we've spoken about it before, that I quite like not being able to be contacted and but you know, people will message me and I don't reply sometimes, because I think there is this thing around being constantly in a place where people can get hold of you.
Absolutely,
and I think where we've swung so much one way, I do think, and I, you know, all joking aside, I think, you know, Lucy's question around Deliveroo and you know, all of those sort of apps where you can just order something and it arrives to your door in 10 minutes or whatever it is. I think life will swing back the other way a little bit.
Anyway, we went for a little, you know, your tits took us to a little serious chat.
We've been on a bit of sort of roller coaster, didn't we?
Yeah, I liked it.
Roller coaster.
A roller coaster.
Yeah, well, there we go, gang. We're back.
Look, I think we've probably got enough there, don't you think?
I reckon we got quite a bit there.
Well, look, remember, there's loads of ways you can get in touch with us. You can find out at Ange and I on Instagram. I'm at Ruth_Corden. She's at Ange Corden.
You can find the podcast on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. Just search Finding the Funny Podcast.
Or you can send us an email, findingthefunnypodcast@gmail.com. But Ange and I will be back next week, helping you to find more of the funny.
Finding the funny.